Work experience. You're probably thinking it's another one of those generic videos about work experience. Well, this one is really from the heart. But anyway, straight to the point. I think work experience, well, not just think, I know work experience is really important, especially if you're in university and you want to get a job afterwards. Now, I know a lot of people who have done work experience, internships, or even summer placements or anything like that. They have gone on to get jobs straight after university, or even a few months after university at very good places, even big banks, or if they want to work in media companies or anything like that. It's because they've done work experience. And if you haven't done it, it's never too late. Get applying, get online, see where you want to go, and yeah, it will open so many doors for you that you would not even believe. It's very common that youngsters often don't know what they want to be doing. They have some kind of career goal, but they just think, yeah, this will be the perfect thing for me, I'm going to go for it. As soon as I finish university, I'm going to apply for it and go for that. But chances are, if you haven't experienced it, you're not going to know what you want to do and how the people in the actual industry you want to work in actually like it. So work experience can give you that opportunity just to go in, sit alongside those people you want to be working with, the jobs they want to do. You can ask the questions, you can learn from them. If it is something you want to do, then great, that's exposure to that business. But sometimes you'll get in there and then you're like, this is not what I signed up for. Sometimes the jobs that you see and the money you see people earning, even though it might be a lot, it might not be something that you want to do. For example, I don't know, there's some jobs which they make you want to work from weekends. Well, for example, there's some jobs out there which want you to work from Monday to Sunday. You have no social life. How are you going to have family life or anything like that? Maybe if you're fresh out of university and you're single, you haven't got anyone next to you, or you're not in a relationship or anything like that, then it'll be good for you. But long term, if you want to have a family, settle down or anything like that, you won't be able to do that in a job which makes you work from Monday all the way to Sunday. So doing work experience can at least make you find out those questions if you want to, find out a little bit more. And you never know, you might just want to have a career change after experiencing something like that. Now obviously going to work experience is going to be something for your CV, but it's not just for your CV that you can say, oh, I've been here, I've been here, I've been there. It's going to show you that you're interested, that you want to do something, especially if you've got a relevant work experience. When I say relevant, I don't just mean going and do work experience here, there and everywhere. It's got to be relevant to the field that you want to get into, because at the end of the day, you know what you want. If you've had a taste of like a few of them and you've gone around different places and tried different companies who do the same similar thing, then you're going to know, well, this is on my CV, and guys, look, I've tried my best, I've got the energy, I'm eager, I really want to do this. And they're going to see that obviously this guy's or this girl, is really eager, and they've been spending a lot of their time and money going out there to get internships or placements or anything like that. What I would say is look out for summer ones when you're not at university. You have plenty of time to go out and get a 10-week internship, or even a 3-month throughout the whole summer period, something like that, or even just a week or a few days shadowing people. That can just open so many doors. I've heard of a lot of stories recently where people have just gone on work experience and they end up getting a job straight afterwards. So you never know, that could be your portion as well, and you just elevate from there, and you'll separate yourself from all the other people that want to get into that. Because obviously at university everyone wants to get the best grade, but even if you have 95%, not saying 95% is bad, but you can have someone with, I don't know, 70% who's done loads of work, or even a 2-1 or something like that, who's done loads and loads of work experience. They've got good grades and they've got experience, because when you get into that interview, they're going to ask you, why should we hire you? Why are you better than the other candidates that we have already? Chances are, if you've got lots of work experience, maybe if you've been there already, sometimes they would have already made up their mind that this person that's been here already on work experience is going to have the edge over everyone else, because they'll know their character, they work hard, they've tried their best, and they ask questions, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, networking, you would not believe how important this is. Fortunately for me, I had a lot of older people around me from when I was younger, so I heard networking is one of the best things you can do, especially if you're going through university. You always meet people, whether you're out and about at events or meetings or anything like that. Take their contact details, even if they don't reply, you never know, they might reply to you maybe 6 months down the line. I've heard some very weird, bizarre stories. Someone replied maybe 2 years down the line, they've got an offer now. Yeah, so you never know what those opportunities can get you. Networking, speak to people, don't be afraid. Like me, I used to be a shy person. I wouldn't be talking in front of the camera. Do you know how really hard that would have been for me a couple of years ago? But you know, sometimes you don't ask, you'll never know, and you'll never get the opportunity that you want to get. And that could be you getting up that ladder to get to the place you want to go to. Now, I'm not saying it's going to give you the best job, but sometimes if you get your foot in the door, you never know where that might end up. I cannot stress enough what I've heard and even learnt from myself on work experience, that it is incredibly important, especially when you want to learn the transition from going from school into the workplace. Now, when you're at school, you tend to do a lot of the stuff by yourself, you do your assignments by yourself, you may occasionally do group work or anything like that. But when you get into the workplace, you're surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of people, and they're not going to think like you. They might think a joke that you're saying is not funny. It might be offensive to someone, their background, you never know. Stuff like that you won't learn if you're just at university, because the people that you've been around for maybe 2, 3, or maybe even 4 or 5 years, however long your course is, they'll be used to you. They know how to react to you. Your lecturers know how to react to you. You know how to work with them. But when you get into a working environment, these are completely different, strange and new people to you. So obviously, if you've gone to work experience and placements, you know how to deal with certain people, how to build up your character, how to be resilient to certain things. For example, me, I've met people in work experience at certain places. Some of them are fine, and then there's a few of them, you just don't want to be around them. You just want to, I don't know, just go up to them, just like, why are you treating me like this? I'm trying to learn. But obviously they've been there for a while, and sometimes they just don't want to interact. There's nothing you can do about that. So those are just the small things that you learn when you're at work experience. And it might be like, oh, maybe I don't want to work in somewhere like this, or maybe this is somewhere I want to work, and I can obviously build up my character if I feel like I'm not a person who's able to speak to people like that. But yeah, these are just the small things that you pick up. Obviously, you're not full-time staff, so obviously if you get some very good people who take you under their wing, obviously teach you a few things whilst you're there, that is better than nothing at all. If you're sitting at home all summer enjoying partying in Ibiza, I don't know what people get up to these days, but it really goes a long way. Those people who make the effort now are the ones who are going to pay off in the end. It's really important when you do go on work experience, don't just sit there on your phone or googling or whatever if you have nothing to do. Go up to other people, ask them questions, people who work there, maybe even recent graduates are sitting around, and just go up to them and ask them how they got there and any advice they can give to you. And even when you finish the placement or work experience or anything like that, just take emails of people. Some of them are happy to even reply to you. If you don't get a reply, you never know, they could reply you later on. But yeah, just make contact, speak to people, don't be afraid to ask questions, don't sit there, because the whole day could go and then the whole period you're supposed to be there will be finished, because they're getting on with their own things. You know, sometimes they might not have set anything up for you, but if you just ask, can I help with this, can I help with that, you never know, that might lead to something. I've heard of people who have, you know, started, I don't know, making coffees. Don't rely on making coffees. Try and get the real experience. Try and get something, get a task a day or something like that you can work on. If you're struggling with it, ask questions. Someone's going to know how to do it in there. So, you know, all these things you can learn on the job, and also what you're learning at university you can then apply into practice in person, because obviously sometimes if you just learn on books and assessments, sometimes it might be a little bit different from what you learn and what you then do in the workplace, or it could be the same, and that could work to your advantage. You never know, you could get a job out of it, or even be called back the next period when you're free, or even when you graduate. So yeah, that's just another thing. Now, this whole idea of making it alone, starting your own business, that is completely fine. But what I've learned, the most successful people, they have learned from other successful people. So you need to be surrounding yourself with those people. Maybe until you get to that stage where you can say, right, fine, I can now do this by myself. I can, you know, go out there and make my own business. I can make my own company. I can set up my own thing. You know, that, of course, is definitely not a bad goal, but obviously you want to learn from the people who've done it before in a similar, or that came from similar backgrounds from yourself, and honestly that all goes so far, and you won't make those mistakes that they made before, and then you can learn from them and they'll guide you. And you know, just look at the most successful people, Google them. I don't know, Karen Brady, she started in a hairdressers, and she she was working in the reception, and you know, she just put herself out there, and by the end of the day she was doing something she probably wasn't supposed to be doing. And look at her now, she's one of the most successful women in England, well, or UK shall I say. She's very, very successful. There are plenty of successful stories out there. I could go on, but guys, if you have not done work experience, or you're in first year or second, or thinking about going to university, I don't know where you're at right now in the stage of your life, honestly it could make a huge difference. And sometimes even if you go through university and you haven't got the best grade that you want to get, you could have those connections that can then bring you back into the industry, and you can go from there. So obviously you got to network, you got to go out there, go get some experience. You never know. Even when I was at one of this massive company I was working for recently, there was a guy who gave us a speech, and you know, he was talking about how he didn't even go to university, and now he's in a very, very top manager role, and that was all because he built his experience. He wasn't shy, he wasn't afraid to go out there. So that could be you as well. So you never know. Obviously I'm not saying don't go to university, but you know, I'm just saying, encouraging people just to go out there and you know, get some experience, because experience pays off. Honestly, it really does. But anyway, that's it from me. Do not forget to subscribe below. Just subscribe. Comment below if you've got any more experiences, or you think this is a great idea. Yeah, even share your experiences so that you can encourage other people to go out there and do the same thing you did. So you never know. This is just an encouragement. And yeah, sometimes just be selfish. That's the very last thing. Don't tell everyone your business. Just go about, work hard. They say work hard in silence, all that kind of stuff. I don't know the quotes these days people like, but yeah, go for it and don't be afraid. Go on and apply.